Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
Under arrest, police confirm several teens in custody tonight in that deadly rock throwing incident along I-75. But it's what we don't know that's even more troubling. Bernie?
Jason, Ron Gardenhire is the manager of the Tigers. What a glib, entertaining guy. You'll hear from him in just a few moments.
Panic at the plant.
I'm scared, I'm nervous, I'm shaking, my chest is hurting. I just want to be home with my family.
An employee walks into the Ford Woodhaven stamping plant with a gun and ends up taking his own life.
When employees heard that shot, they say panic ensued and they rushed for the exits.
Woodhaven Police, Michigan State Police, the SWAT team, and the FBI swarmed the plant right around 9 this morning. Coco McAvoy has been talking to people who were working when it all happened. We'll get to her in just a moment, but we want to start with Sean Lay. He's live at the plant tonight with more. Sean?
Kimberly just got an update from police and from the Ford Motor Company. First from the police, they've identified the employee who shot himself here today as Jacoby Hennings, only 21 years old, from Harper Woods. Ford tonight saying it was Hennings who was behaving erratically at his job station here on the floor at the plant. He was removed from the floor, taken upstairs to what's called the Union Room, where police and Ford confirm he pulled out a gun.
The union and everybody told everybody to get out, active shooter situation, so then they start texting everybody and everybody starts telling everybody to get out.
The call to evacuate the massive Woodhaven Ford stamping plant came at 9 this morning. The message, there was an active shooter in the building.
They just said everybody go. That's all I know.
So everybody go, and then you went.
We left.
Plant employee Richard Vignola knew it was not a drill.
If it was a drill, then they would have announced that would have been a drill, but it wasn't a drill. So
you knew it was not a drill and you had to go?
Oh yeah, all of us had to go.
Police have identified that gunman as 21-year-old Jacoby Hennings from Harper Woods. Police say he was a part-time employee who came to work today with a gun and a grudge.
At some point he presented a gun. He did not fire at anybody. When the officers were called, as they were approaching the subject, he pulled the gun and killed himself.
He was a temporary part-time employee here at Ford and had only been employed here since March.
Employees say that gunman got to a manager's office where the manager and others tried to calm him down. Meantime, Steve Arquette rushed to the plant to check on his wife. She was upset.
Yeah, yeah.
Because she didn't know what was happening.
Yeah.
But she's safe.
Yeah.
And everyone there is safe.
Everybody's safe.
It was actually a union chairperson's office as we get another word from Ford about what exactly happened here tonight. Ford Motor Company saying, quote, our deepest condolences go out to the family, friends, and co-workers of the Woodhaven stamping plant employee who lost his life at the plant today. Grief counselors are on site. Production is canceled for the remainder of the day. Again, Ford saying he was not a disgruntled employee, but he was behaving erratically. The incident shaking up a lot of employees and their families. Coco McAvoy has been speaking to employees all day long. Coco?
Yes, Sean, obviously many of us, we can't imagine being in a situation like this. It's traumatic, it's scary. For that reason, a lot of loved ones flock to the plant to check on their loved ones. We spoke with some of them, but we also spoke to an employee who was evacuated. The Woodhaven Ford stamping plant lot was filled with employees evacuated from the premises as worried loved ones gathered outside.
My mind's just racing and wondering if he's okay.
His father, Leonard, was evacuated and spoke to us over the phone.
It's torn up right now. I'm scared. I'm nervous. I'm shaking. My chest is hurting. I just want to be home with my family right now, to tell you the truth. That's the only thing that's going through my mind, is being home with my family.
Leonard says the morning started off routine, but an hour and a half later,
my chairman comes running through. He tells me to drop everything I'm doing, run as fast as you can. There's a shooter in the plant. So I'm just saying, what the hell? What the hell's going on? So he said, run, Lenny, run. So I started running, and I'm telling everybody when I'm running out the door, everyone behind me, run, there's a gunner. There's a guy with a gun, just run.
The only thing running through his mind,
that I didn't want to die. It's not my time. I got grandkids and everything. I didn't want to die.
Throughout the afternoon, the employees were sent home in groups after experiencing a morning they won't soon forget.
Everybody's hugging each other. Everybody's crying. Everyone just can't understand how this could happen at our plant.
Obviously a very scary experience for Leonard and the other employees at the plant at the time. Now, we are told that all the employees had to speak to the officers before they were able to go home. They had to give them their information, but one by one we started seeing the employees evacuate and eventually go home. But our thoughts and prayers are with all of them as they continue to experience this very traumatic experience from this morning. Back to you.
Traumatic indeed, Coco. Did Leonard see the employee who police say is responsible for the shooting?
Yes, and according to Leonard, he says that he actually saw him earlier in the day. He says obviously he was a part-time employee. He saw him come to work and that he saw him in an argument. And so obviously that's something traumatic to experience, because then a few minutes later, as he said, a half an hour later, you're being told to run and leave the building.
Yeah, just so glad it wasn't worse than what it was. Okay, Coco, we appreciate it.
A small plane makes an emergency landing in White Lake Township after losing its engine. The plane was forced to land in a field near West Hill and Highland Roads, not far from the Oakland County International Airport. Fortunately, nobody was hurt and the plane wasn't damaged much. The cause of the engine failure now under investigation.
All right, now to a story developing right now in Genesee County.
Police there now confirm they have several teens in custody in that deadly rock-throwing incident on I-75. Sky 4 was over the area in Vienna Township today as investigators looked for more evidence. Jermont Terry following this for us tonight. Jermont, what are police saying about these teens?
Jason, investigators have not said how they found these individuals or exactly how many teenagers are in custody tonight. But we do know that they are taking this senseless act very seriously, and they're letting people know if you are caught throwing anything over onto the interstate or from an overpass, they're going to take it seriously. In this case, it became downright deadly.
I-75 near Dodge Road shut down for a portion of the day. Investigators were back along the interstate collecting evidence. It's evidence they need to charge several teenagers in the death of Kenneth White. White died this week after a rock came crashing through his windshield.
For some senseless act, for it to be just a rock, just to take him so soon.
The father and his co-worker were driving along 75 in Genesee County, but before they drove by, investigators had already received calls from other drivers. Those drivers' cars were damaged by rocks. Close to 20 were tossed onto the interstate. It's unclear why the teenagers were out so late or exactly how many investigators arrested. But what is clear, one father is gone.
He took away a child's father and the love of my life.
And tonight, an entire family grieves, hoping an arrest will explain what was going through these teenagers' minds.
I just don't understand what a person could be thinking to even want to do something like that, to know they're putting lives in danger by just throwing rocks off of an underpass.
Now, under Michigan law, these teenagers could face up to 15 years in prison if convicted. Now, we do know investigators are likely going to talk to each one of them to figure out exactly what role each one of them played. Reporting live tonight, Jermont Terry, Local 4.
Okay, Jermont. Western International High School was momentarily evacuated today after a fire was started inside the school. Investigators believe it was a small fire that was started in one of the bathrooms on the first floor. After less than an hour, the Detroit Fire Department took care of the fire and students returned to class. The cause of the fire is still under investigation.
The Westland Police Department investigating a stranger danger incident near Hamilton Elementary School. On Thursday afternoon in the area of Schumann and Avondale, police say a man was talking to a young girl, trying to lure her into his dark blue Dodge Ram truck. He's in his 30s with a dark complexion, a beard, a scar under his left eye, and full arm tattoos. If you recognize that description or have any information, call the Westland Police Department.
Okay, a big day for the Detroit Tigers as a new era begins with Ron Gardenhire at the helm.
Yeah, today the team formally introducing the veteran manager, and veteran not meaning old. I think he responded to a reporter's question saying, "I'm 59 years old, dude." Bernie Smilovitz live at Comerica tonight, and he's got a big challenge here, doesn't he, Bernie?
He does it, but he sounds ready to do it. He's signed, he's sealed, he's delivered. He got a 3-year deal from the Tigers and ready to take charge, as you mentioned, of that rebuilding process. And we've got highlights of Gardenhire introduced this afternoon here at Comerica at a press conference. He's an old school baseball guy. He's got an amazing sense of humor, and Jim Leyland's one of his close friends. That tells you a lot. Also, the way he answered this question at the press conference today.
Were there any trepidations, maybe because of what you're going to be facing here in the next year or so?
I'll start out. Can you use smaller words than trepidations? All right. I am from Oklahoma. All right. So let's go easy here and lightly. I know what it means, but I don't really like to think about things like that. You know what? All these things that we're talking about here, I've seen. I've been through it, and I think that's the greatest part of the game.
And Al Avila said it was his expertise is the reason they signed him. 3-year deal. Spent 13 years with the Twins. In 6 of those years, they won the American League Central. Back to you guys in the studio. We'll be back later with more on Ron Gardenhire. See you then.
Okay, we'll see you a little bit later, Bernie. Thank you. Seems like he didn't take himself too seriously. I like that.
Oh, he made so many funny jokes in that I've always liked him. He knows the Central Division for sure.
Okay, we'll talk to you later, Bernie. Much more ahead here at 5, starting with Hank. Hi, Hank.
Hi, Kimberly. This Detroit vacant lot, it was a mess filled with gigantic chunks of concrete that were left here. Well, who left them here and how did this all get cleaned up? We're live tonight at 5:30.
And welcome to Friday evening. I'm meteorologist Andrew Humphrey. Blue skies overhead, a gentle breeze, getting cooler, but temperatures still near 70 degrees. How high do temperatures go this weekend? Your weather forecast on the way.
All right, Andrew, and a student riding their bike to school hit by a car. New here at 5 why police don't expect to even write a ticket in this case.
But first, a suspected serial robber behind bars tonight, and you won't believe why he's admitting he did it. That's next at 5.
New at 6.
Deer on the rampage, and this is going to cost more than a few bucks as a deer smashes through this window with a sleeping family upstairs.
Okay, Paula, plus with 2 games left in their dream season, a local youth football team is told it's all over. No chance to finish undefeated, no playoffs. The disturbing reason, new at 6.
A big indictment in federal court after local police officers were able to catch a man who's not only accused of several robberies, but has allegedly admitted to them. 9 drugstores and a dollar store have been hit over the past several months by the same man. But why so many robberies? As Nick Monticelli reports, that's also something he freely explained.
We have learned quite a bit about this investigation thanks to this federal complaint, specifically that the suspect is Mohammed Abdi, and as you mentioned, he has admitted to a lot of things. We've also learned that he is 32 years old and comes out of Dearborn. But now, as those in charge have said, he's in federal custody. It is amazing the details of an investigation that you can find online, and this case is no different. 2 days ago, there was a robbery at this CVS store on Greater Mac in St. Clair Shores. Witnesses saw the car the robber was driving, and a Grosse Pointe sergeant spotted it soon afterwards. The sergeant then approached the subject, Mohammed Abdi, who immediately admitted to having a gun, saying, quote, "because I did something stupid." He also admitted to robbing the CVS, and he told another officer he messed up and he did what he did to feed his twins. There was another robbery at a CVS a day earlier on Harper, also in St. Clair Shores. In fact, there's been a string of them. So detectives had a lot of questions for Abdi, and lo and behold, he admitted to 9 of them. There were a total of 3 robberies at 3 different CVS stores in St. Clair Shores. Also, 2 more in Warren, a Family Dollar in East Point, a Rite Aid in Allen Park, a CVS in Lincoln Park, and a Rite Aid in Wayne. He is also suspected in others in Taylor and Lincoln Park, and the FBI has also reached out to several other jurisdictions to see if they have unsolved robberies too. He told investigators he chose locations where there were not a lot of people around. He also said he never wanted to hurt anybody and never pointed the gun at anyone. Another interesting point here in this federal complaint is that Abdi told investigators that he got the gun because he used to work at a gas station and 2 people got into a fight and a gun was dropped. He picked it up and kept it, and he said that is the weapon he used in these robberies. I'm Nick Monticelli, Local 4.
Okay, Nick, and Abdi is now facing federal charges, including interference with commerce and using a firearm during a crime. Because those are federal charges, he's facing much more time than he would if just local charges were pursued.
Gonna check the weather now. Andrew in for Ben tonight. I know I heard something earlier about like the last of the great weekend. That was fake news, right?
I wouldn't say the last of the great weekends, but a great weekend, yes, that is real.
Okay.
All right, does it make you feel a little bit better?
No, I want the summer weather to stay forever.
Well, it's warmer than average today. We have warm weather at least coming back for tomorrow and Sunday.
Oh, that's good.
So we'll take it weekend by weekend, especially for Jason, all right? So hang in there. We're looking at sunshine out there right now. Later on tonight, hey, spectacular conditions if you're going out this evening. Dry conditions out there on the roads, heading to dinner or heading to the hockey game. Temperatures overnight, mostly in the low 50s and upper 40s, so cooler to chillier. Warren down to around 52 degrees here in the metro zone, down to about 51 to 53 right here in Detroit. Looking beautiful no matter how you slice it here in downtown Detroit. Got some blue skies overhead, some high thin clouds as well. Looking lovely at the skyline. We're looking at 71 right now, right at room temperature almost, with winds out of the south-southeast at around 9 miles per hour. And you know what? A spectacular sight tonight. Get your kids hooked on astronomy, ladies and gentlemen. After midnight and up until about dawn, why not? It's not a school day tomorrow. You can take a look at the Orionid meteor shower. You know the constellation Orion, right? There are those 3 stars making the belt. Well, look up in the sky toward Orion and you'll see some amazing shooting stars with that meteor shower. We're looking at temperatures tonight that will fall into the 50s. Right now we've got temperatures nicely in the upper 60s and low 70s. A little bit cooler, closer to the water. 63 for our friends in Grosse Ile, but 74 in Ann Arbor. And temperatures tomorrow will be back in the 70s. Right now we're looking at temps, if you're farther inland, warmer than yesterday by a good 5 to 8 degrees. It's only cooler than yesterday, mainly because some of those winds are coming off of the big lakes. Winds right now generally out of the south-southeast, and it's a gentle breeze that's out there, 5 to 10 miles per hour, and it remains generally calm as we go through tonight. But oh boy, Jason's going to love this, and you're going to love it too. Higher temperatures to our west that move in for tomorrow. Yeah, you hear that cheer? I hear it from Jason. Yes, I hear it from you as well. 78 degrees over in Chicago right now, 77 in Minneapolis. We can expect temperatures like that as we go into tomorrow, and nice high pressure overhead. That's nice stable air, sinking air, so it doesn't go up and form clouds. If anything, just some high thin clouds, just like right now. Looking at 51 degrees overnight tonight, clear skies, crisp conditions when you join me tomorrow morning on Local 4 News Today at 6 a.m. Sunset this evening, not too far away at 6:43. Lovely fall weather tomorrow. Take a look at those beautiful fall colors, ladies and gentlemen. Good day to head to the pumpkin patch as well. Temperatures up to 75 degrees tomorrow afternoon, and tomorrow evening, tomorrow night, why not head out to the corn maze and to some haunted houses too. 57 degrees by Sunday morning. There is a chance of showers, but not until late Sunday. That's after midnight, after Sunday night football and for early Monday. 76 on Sunday, and notice 50s and 60s, feeling a little more like fall as we go into next week.
All right, so we're buying telescopes, we're going to haunted houses. He's
Corn
got us
mazes.
going,
Chock full of activities.
Pumpkins.
Everything.
He's got us running
Get it
around.
in while
Apple
you
orchards.
can.
Yes,
Thanks,
exactly.
All right.
Let's check in with Tim.
A couple of nights ago, we showed you this video of 2 thieves stealing Halloween decorations. It made some young children very sad.
He was more devastated because he loved that thing.
Coming up, we'll show you how the kindness of strangers saves the day.
But first, get ready to hurry up and wait. A whole slew of construction projects this weekend, including one critical closure. We'll break it all down for you next.
Good evening, everyone. Hope you're having a great Friday. We made it, but we've got big news for those of you who travel to and from Canada because the Windsor Tunnel will be shutting down. They're making some repairs on it. That shuts down tonight at 8 p.m. and it's going to remain closed until October 30th. So keep that in mind for the next 10 days. And in the meantime, to get around that, you can use the Ambassador Bridge. Now, we also have some construction to talk about over on northbound I-75 between Schaefer and Springwells. Only one lane open there. That's going to start up at 9 p.m. tonight, and that's going to wrap up on Monday morning at 5 a.m. Also on the southbound lanes of Woodward between Corton Road and 14 Mile, only one lane open there between 9 p.m. and 6 a.m. Monday. So if you do travel over on Woodward, you could see a little bit of a slowdown. Now let's talk about some construction happening tomorrow. Starting with southbound I-275, the ramp to westbound Ford Road, that will be closed tomorrow starting at 7 a.m., wrapping up at 6 p.m. tomorrow. And then westbound Ford Road from I-275 to Hagerty, that's going to be only one lane open there. That starts at 7 a.m., wrapping up at 6 p.m. as well. So if you do travel over on Ford Road, things can get a little busy around there, so just expect some delays. Have a great day, everyone, and a great weekend.
You too, Kim. A high school student was hit by a car this morning on her way to school in Warren. It happened on Hoover Road right outside Cousino High School.
You're looking down at the scene here where the student was in the crosswalk when she was hit by the car. Police say the girl was at fault, not the driver, but she is going to be all right. In a continuing effort to revitalize Detroit neighborhoods, the city has teamed up with the Cooper Standard Foundation and Say Detroit to refurbish the rec center at Baldock Park.
Dozens of volunteers were on hand helping out as renovations of the rec center officially began today. One volunteer from Cooper Standard recounts his time growing up and his memories of the park.
When I was a kid, we used to come here to play, in the summer. Also in the winters, there was a sled hill here, and I actually, knocked out one of my front teeth on the sled hill. But this was like the place to go.
When finished, the newly renovated rec center will impact thousands of kids in the area on a year-round basis.
New at 5:30.
Sinus problems are sending lots of people to the doctor this week. I'm Dr. Frank McGeorge. Coming up, I'll show you what's really to blame for the pain, plus see if the flu is popping up near you.
Today, a search for answers in the ambush that killed 4 U.S. service members, and the back and forth over President Trump's now infamous condolence call continues yet another day.
We're live here in Detroit, this neighborhood filled with kids, and many were hanging out here on this vacant lot, but it was a huge danger. We'll show you why neighbors called Help Me Hank.
Mountains of concrete dumped and forgotten, leaving a neighborhood with some hardened feelings. It raised a lot of questions when a construction truck dumped all that concrete and then just left.
And then after a month went by, neighbors called Help Me Hank to get it cleaned up. And Hank, it was becoming really dangerous for the kids in the neighborhood as well.
It was, Karen, because neighbors were saying and parents were saying, stay away from this lot. They had a lot of toys here before, but they had to stay away because it was a danger. So you guys, you can come on back. Bring the toys back. The lot is clear now. You can bring everything over. This was kind of the hangout zone last summer, but then as you'll see, there was some confusion. And because of some work done by a contractor, this lot became a huge danger. It's more than just an eyesore.
Broken cement, really. Just a lot of broken cement that they didn't know what to do with, so they just came and brought it here for some reason.
After large slabs of concrete were dumped on this lot at Faust and Pembroke in Detroit, it became a cement jungle gym, creating a danger for kids in this neighborhood.
I see the kids playing on it. It's kind of dangerous.
About a month ago, a contractor doing sidewalk replacement work here was apparently approached by somebody who lived nearby, asking to keep that old cement.
Unfortunately, it sat there for over 30 days. The property owner did nothing with it. And of course, during this, during this point in time, the residents on the block had to see it on a daily basis, and it truly became an eyesore.
Neighbors believing this was a case of illegal dumping called Help Me Hank to investigate, and we called Detroit's Department of Public Works.
We really first and foremost, want them to make us aware of it so that we can get our personnel out there to assess it.
Within days, the city's contractor came out to clean up that mess in that neighborhood. So what if there is illegal dumping in your area? There are 2 ways to get it taken care of.
We really want to encourage our residents, to use the Improved Detroit application, to notify us when they feel that illegal dumping has occurred.
You can use the Improved Detroit app or call the department directly at 313-224-3901.
We're really glad that, the citizens on the block in the neighborhood, made us aware. In this case, through Channel 4.
A big thanks to the city of Detroit getting out here so quickly and working with that contractor. You can see that the vacant lot here, there's already grass seed down. They are working to make this a nice area for these kids. They're able to have their toys back out here, enjoy the nice weather while we still have it. And parents are just so thankful because, as you can imagine, this has been a huge danger. We're live here tonight on the West Side. Hank Winchester, back to you.
Such a difference. Good work, Hank. Got a question, though. When reporting illegal or inappropriate dumping, does it matter if it's on a residential property or if the lot is vacant? Does that make a difference?
No, it really doesn't. And the city just wants you to report those illegal dumpers if you see them. And if they are not able to track down the person responsible, like in this particular case, they will work with you to try to clean that stuff up, which is exactly what happened here. All right. Back to you.
Thank you very much. Hank Winchester live on the West Side.
Today in Washington, a search for answers in the ambush in Niger that killed 4 U.S. service members. And the back and forth continuing between the president, a Florida congresswoman, and now the chief of staff. Blaine Alexander has it all covered from the White House. Blaine?
Well, Jason, that back and forth over the condolence call continues for yet another day. This as the Pentagon, the White House, and Congress all want to know what led up to that deadly raid in the first place.
And I will tell you, I also happen to think...
What happened in Niger?
Mr. President, did you authorize the mission in Niger?
Thank you all very much.
Today, President Trump not answering a question about the raid that killed 4 U.S. service members. But on Capitol Hill, Defense Secretary James Mattis answering questions behind closed doors, meeting with Senate Armed Services Committee Chair John McCain.
I felt that we were not getting sufficient amount of information, and we are clearing a lot of that up now.
This, as NBC News reports, a massive intelligence failure may have led up to the attack. The Pentagon has a team on the ground. Now the FBI and other agencies joining the search for answers.
Before we start jumping to any conclusions, we want to make sure that that is completed fully.
Also under scrutiny today, Chief of Staff John Kelly, who blasted a Florida congresswoman who claimed President Trump made insensitive remarks during a now infamous condolence call. Kelly accused Congresswoman Frederica Wilson of grandstanding, taking credit for the construction of an FBI memorial building in 2015.
I was not even in Congress in 2009 when the money for the building was secured. So that's a lie. How dare he?
As General Kelly pointed out, if you're able to make a sacred act like honoring American heroes all about yourself, you're an empty barrel.
As the political back and forth plays on in Washington, today a final honor for Sergeant LaDavid T. Johnson, laid to rest in Florida. And today the president's daughter-in-law says she read a transcript of that condolence call, but the White House says no such transcript exists. In Washington, Blaine Alexander, Local 4.
All right, Blaine, a political programming note. Next Wednesday night, right here on Local 4, Mayor Mike Duggan and challenger Coleman Young II will square off in their only televised debate ahead of the November election. And we want to know what questions you'd like us to ask the candidates. You can connect with us on Facebook, on the Twitter, or the clickondetroit.com, or drop us a note, email, phone, whatever you want. And then watch the mayoral debate October 25th. It'll be live right here on Local 4. This weekend, the U.S. is wrapping up its joint military exercises with South Korea.
The drills come amid North Korea's renewed threat to fire missiles near the American territory of Guam. NBC News has been granted rare access inside North Korea and reports the government is furious the joint exercises are taking place off the coast. One American aid worker says despite all the threats and angry rhetoric, they feel safe traveling to North Korea.
Do you feel safe traveling to North Korea?
This is like my 50-something trip, and we all have families at home. We all want to get back to our families, so yes.
Today, a North Korean diplomat said the country does not plan to hold any talks with Washington about its nuclear program and declared that possessing nuclear weapons was a matter of life and death for North Korea.
3 supporters of white supremacist Richard Spencer were arrested after his speech at the University of Florida in Gainesville. These men, take a look, were charged with attempted homicide and are being held at the Alachua County Jail after police say they were connected to an incident in which a shot was fired. Yesterday afternoon, the 3 men pulled up to a bus stop where they stopped and ended up arguing with a small group of protesters before that shot was fired. Police say they fired it. The shot missed, and then the 3 guys drove off before being arrested 20 miles north of Gainesville on I-75.
The Los Angeles Police Department has opened an investigation into Harvey Weinstein.
An anonymous accuser has come forward with an allegation of sexual assault against Weinstein. She's the 6th woman to accuse him of rape or forcible sex acts. This person claims Weinstein came to her Beverly Hills hotel room unannounced, pushed his way in, and raped her. It happened in 2013 within the 10-year statute of limitations. In good health tonight, sinus problems are sending lots of people to the doctor this week.
Dr. Frank McGeorge is here to show us what's really to blame for the pain.
We always see a surge in sinus problems in the fall. Now, many are related to fall allergies, but you can also develop a sinus infection from a virus or bacteria that's going around. The cool, dry air can also increase the risk, essentially creating the perfect storm for fall sinus issues. Now, here's what's going around where you live. In Wayne County, Garden City Hospital is reporting confirmed cases of influenza. Beaumont Dr. Andrew Kotzis in Detroit is treating upper respiratory and sinus infections. Beaumont and Dearborn and Taylor are seeing colds and asthma symptoms with the changing weather. Over to Oakland County, Dr. Harrison Tong says upper respiratory infections top the list at McLaren Oakland. Clarkson Medical Group is seeing colds, strep throat, and flu-like illnesses. The CVS Minute Clinics are still treating a few cases of poison ivy, so be careful doing that fall cleanup. Looking at Washtenaw County, still sporadic reports of influenza A. Doctors at U of M are seeing some milder upper respiratory infections and a few stomach viruses. Checking out Monroe County, the ER at ProMedica Monroe Regional reports coughs and sore throats. Dr. Anthony Songo is treating sinus infections, upper respiratory infections, and fall allergies. Finally, in Macomb County, the CVS Minute Clinic is treating confirmed influenza, and McLaren Macomb reports confirmed cases of influenza B. That's a different strain than most of the other reports so far this season. Mold allergies and related asthma also make the list. Henry Ford Lakeside is seeing children with strep throat and croup, and all of the Henry Ford Macomb health centers are seeing a number of sinus issues. So when should you see a doctor for sinus problems? Well, if you have a fever, pain over one of your sinuses, or if the drainage is discolored, those are times when you should contact a doctor for more advice. Now, an antibiotic won't always be necessary, but treatments like sinus irrigation might actually be useful. Back to you.
It does. It sounds almost as gross
sinus irrigation just sounds a little upsetting to the...
It's like Kentucky Fried Twitter.
Oh,
Kentucky Fried Chicken.
The buzzword today.
It won Twitter.
Yes, new here at 5:30. The hilariously clever thing the restaurant chain quietly did online that has people all around the world pretty impressed.
And he drove into the fire. Stunning new video tonight showing a dedicated deputy saving lives as flames raged around him. Nick?
I'm Nick Monticelli in Auburn Hills, standing next to obviously a police vehicle, and you'd think this would be a crime story. Trust me, it's not. There's something over there that has changed the life of somebody in ways you could not imagine.
New at 6.
Some think it's haunted, but police have a warning for anyone thinking of visiting this old psychiatric hospital for some Halloween hijinks.
Speaking of, Karen, if you haven't carved your pumpkin yet, there are some common mistakes people make. Dr. McGeorge reveals the best and worst tools for the job, plus one tool you're probably overlooking.
In Auburn Hills today, a crossing guard who's been on the job for 14 years got the surprise of a lifetime. Now, we don't want to give it away just yet, but it is safe to say what she got is drastically going to improve her life. And as Nick Monticelli reports, the idea for this surprise gift comes from a couple of Auburn Hills police officers extremely in touch with their community.
So let's be honest, when you think about a police department, you think about crime and safety and maybe somebody now locked up in a cell because they've done something bad. I get it, but what happened in Auburn Hills today is the exact opposite of that. But it is not the opposite of what police officers like to do.
Thank you.
In Auburn Hills, you'll find few who love their job as much as Tamara Eddington does. She stands on this corner twice a day, 5 days a week, and has been doing it for 14 years.
The best part about being out here is the children's safety.
But getting to that job hasn't been easy lately. She lost her car, so this is the only way she gets around. And not just to this job, but her second housekeeping job as well. So how much time does she spend pedaling around?
Ooh, maybe 3 hours a day or more.
And she's been doing that for nearly 2 years.
I could lay in the bed, pull the covers over my head, or I can get up and press on. Excited, I tell you, thank you so much.
That is where Officer Brian Miller comes in. He's a school resource officer, and like many in this community, got to love Tamara. So he fired off a single email to see if city workers from Auburn Hills would consider donating towards a new car.
It was that quick. One email, and within about 10 minutes, I had 10 envelopes sitting on my desk.
So one last trip with the bike, not necessarily on it, with a police escort sitting in the front, of course.
Better in the back. Right. Hello, everybody.
Waiting for her was a pretty red bow and a Ford Focus. City employees raised about $2,000, and Newcomb's Auto Sales chipped in around $10,000.
When the opportunity arose, we couldn't have been more excited to be able to help her because she deserves it.
Fired up.
Thank you. It's been a journey.
A journey that will put her right back on this corner where it all began. In Auburn Hills, Nick Monticelli, Local 4.
Wonderful lady and an amazing police department and community as well.
Well, he's a one email, boom, all those envelopes, fantastic. The old Newsboys Goodfellows had their 28th annual tribute breakfast this morning to honor this year's Edward H. McNamara Goodfellow of the Year recipient.
Yes, this year they honored Jerry Anderson, who is the chairman and CEO of DT Energy. There he is right there getting the award. Now, the award itself is given to noteworthy individuals who have significantly contributed to the community.
Who's that?
That would be me. I was there as well.
Yeah, this is also the inaugural year for the Ernest Lofton Jr. Goodfellow of the Year Award, which was given to Jeremiah Steen, a junior at U of D Jesuit High School. And nice congrats